Imagine this. You're living your life with so much focus, so much fire, and so much discipline that people around you start saying, "Man, you're obsessed. You're crazy." Now, here's the twist. That's not an insult. That's actually a compliment, because that's exactly how the legendary samurai Miyamoto Musashi lived his life. And his story is proof that sometimes being called crazy just means you're closer to greatness than anyone else can understand. Musashi wasn't born special. He wasn't some chosen one with an easy path. He was a kid who fought his very first duel at just 13 years old. 13, and from there he never looked back. Over the course of his life, he fought more than 60 duels and didn't lose a single one. But here's what most people miss. His real weapon wasn't his sword. It was his mind, his focus, his discipline. That's what made him unstoppable. Now, think about this for a second. Musashi didn't just train like a warrior. He lived like one. He stripped away anything that would slow him down. Luxury, comfort, distractions. He chose simplicity because he knew that every extra weight in life keeps you from swinging your sword with full power. Most people thought he was strange, even a little unhinged. But Musashi wasn't chasing their approval. He was chasing mastery. And that's the first big lesson. If you truly want to master yourself, you have to accept that not everyone will understand you. Some people will laugh at your routines. Some will question why you train so hard, why you're so focused, why you don't relax like everybody else. But here's the truth. Greatness doesn't grow in comfort zones. Greatness is born when you outwork, outlast, and outdiscipline everyone else. Now let me ask you, how many times have you set a goal, maybe getting fit, starting a project, learning a skill, and you started strong, but then comfort pulled you back? That's the real enemy Musashi talked about. Not some rival outside of you, but the laziness, the hesitation, the self-doubt inside of you. Conquer that, and suddenly the world outside feels easy. Musashi's entire philosophy, written in the Book of Five Rings, wasn't just about swords. It was about life. He believed that discipline creates freedom. And that sounds backwards at first, right? Because discipline feels like rules and restrictions. But in reality, it's the opposite. When you're disciplined, you're free from fear because you know you're prepared. You're free from distraction because you've built focus. You're free from mediocrity because you've committed to mastery. So, how do we bring this down into our own daily lives? Let's pull some direct lessons from Musashi's path. Number 1. Master yourself. The greatest duel is always the one happening inside. Every time you wake up and hit snooze, every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," that's you losing the duel. So start small. Keep promises to yourself. If you say you'll wake up at 6, wake up at 6. If you say you'll practice for 1 hour, practice for 1 hour. Those tiny wins stack up into massive self-discipline. Number 2, practice like your life depends on it. Musashi once said, "You can only fight the way you practice." Think about that. If you practice with half effort, you'll perform with half results. If you show up every day with intensity, then when it matters, intensity will be your default setting. Whether it's your craft, your business, your sport, or your art, don't just dabble. Train like it's life or death. Number 3, simplify. Look at your life right now. How much clutter is pulling your focus away from what really matters? Musashi lived like a minimalist warrior. Simple food, simple clothes, few possessions. Not because he couldn't have more, but because he knew distractions are poison to discipline. You don't need 20 priorities. You need 1 or 2, and you need to give them everything. Number 4, never stop growing. Even undefeated, Musashi kept pushing himself. He didn't rest on his victories. He kept studying, kept writing, kept training. That's why he became more than a fighter. He became a legend. So if you're winning right now, don't get comfortable. If you're struggling right now, don't give up. Growth is a lifelong discipline. And listen, let's be real for a second. When you start living this way, not everyone will cheer you on. People will say, relax, you're taking this too seriously. They'll call you obsessed. They'll call you extreme. Some might even call you crazy. But here's the thing. You don't want to be normal. Normal is average. Normal is distracted. Normal is unfulfilled. If Musashi listened to normal, we wouldn't even remember his name today. So if people are calling you obsessed, smile. That's the same kind of crazy Musashi had. That's the same fire that creates legacies. Discipline is supposed to look extreme to those who don't have it. At the end of the day, Musashi's life shows us this simple truth. Colon discipline is not about taking freedom away. It's about giving you real freedom. The freedom to live without regret. The freedom to rise above fear. The freedom to build a life so sharp, so powerful, that it cuts through mediocrity like a blade through silk. So here's my challenge to you. Be so disciplined that people call you crazy. Train so relentlessly that mediocrity can't keep up. Live so focused that distractions can't survive around you. Because in the end, the ones who are crazy enough to live like this, the Musashis of the world, they're the ones who leave behind a legacy worth remembering.